All right. Caroline, what's going on here?
So Michelle helped me install the AL kiln in playground this week, and I don't know, was it a bug, Michelle? But we had a problem with it. She fixed it and worked the next day, and it's working very well. And if I make a, the boo-boos are mine, not its, and I'm really pleased with it. So that's huge.
All right. Cool. Anything else?
No, I don't think so, not for me.
All right then. Quentin.
All right. I've just been working on the website redesign, basically. So I can share what I'm working on.
That'd be cool.
Trying to figure out some ways to make it a bit more visually interesting. Maybe like some kind of illustration here. And I don't know if the colors are right or anything, but I fixed a lot of the problems I was running into, which is good. So there's this area. I'm thinking, David, one question I have is whether, so we just have a small list of forms.
Yes.
And I think just like other folks who've been deploying Spot, we'd be best off if we had keyword search and not just Spot. I'm wondering, I think we wanted to deploy this as a static site. That was the whole reason for going with Next.js.
Yep.
I wonder, something to put a pin in, I guess, is to think of how we can integrate keyword search with Spot edition. Maybe it's building a static index that you check first. So I don't want to copy over this language that says you need 5 words or the word counter, because
I would,
and let the box be the prompt there, but
yeah, I think we can do that. I would like to move away from saying what is the legal problem though, because we're trying to get people to say what is their issue, like generally.
Yeah, just take out the word legal.
But yeah, that should be doable. In fact, we do something similar to that using just JavaScript on the Form Explorer. So there we mix doing a vector-based search and a traditional word match. Except there we just have it, you have to toggle between the two behaviors, but we do it with JavaScript. So the point being is it does that, and it does it on tens of thousands of forms.
Not just like 30 or 40. Okay.
So I don't see that being a hurdle. It does, obviously, that one does have longer load time, so you have that weird load time. But since we're not dealing with tens of thousands of forms, I think it might be.
And maybe we can preload some things too. So I doubt people will interact with this box as soon as they open the page.
That's right.
So if it's happening in the background, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that should be doable.
Okay. I think that's kind of the next thing. And I obviously we want to keep this checkbox here. I think I'll figure out how to integrate that.
Yeah.
But I think this is like maybe more information than we want to give.
Well, if you don't need it, you don't need to.
Because it's not required anymore. Exactly.
It's not required. It was there because if you aren't doing a keyword search, then you want to make sure that people are phrasing things in a way that is going to
actually get relevant results. Right.
To answer.
Are we talking about switching entirely from Spot to keyword search? Or are we talking about doing keyword
combining
first?
The two? I think combining the two. I mean, I think it's a nice place for us to use Spot, right? It's on our site, so
that's.
We still want the
performance.
Yeah, in that case, we still want the don't include identified information, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We want something like
we can get rid of the we don't need. You can get rid of the part about how long it needs to be, but you get the part about not including identified information.
Is that because we're keeping that? We're using the results. We're using what they put in. Is that why we're saying do not include identifying information?
Doesn't go. Yeah, that's a good question.
So first approximation, yes. We're just we don't want to be the custodians of anyone's personally identifying information.
But I mean,
So-
we're holding it, even if it's temporarily, we're holding it.
Well, the point is just by virtue of, if they give it to us, if they do click the box, and I do think we do want to have an opt-in or opt-out, we might hold it, but we want to, even if we're going to hold it, we want to limit the.
Yeah,
the
no, I didn't
possibility.
understand. Yeah, I wasn't clear whether we were keeping that or not. That's what so we're sort of basically keeping the query because it educates Spot, right?
That's
Is
right.
that the idea? Okay.
Or we would like to keep the query. I do think that users should be able to opt out.
I see.
But in the event that we do keep the query, we want to limit the possibility that, that we're holding sensitive stuff.
What if you have you already got an idea about where you want to put the opt-in, opt-out box?
I'm open. So here it's like right next to the button, which I think they're grouped pretty well, but it's pretty busy here. So yeah, what were you thinking?
Oh, well, this is just an immediate thought, not thought through. If I'm wondering is if you click, when you click the find help button, if there's an intermediate, what are those things that pop up that start with an M? Yes,
Modal.
yeah. What are those things called? What are those things called?
Modal.
Modal,
MODL.
right. Would that be annoying?
I
would
like the
say
idea of them
yes.
knowing making the option before they hit send, right? We want them to think about it before they.
Well, so what I'm thinking is that if because people often don't read, right? They just click the button.
Yeah.
But if you have it be an intermediate step, so maybe modal isn't the right word, but if you click find help and then you say, is it okay to use your, it's like a yes, no thing, then that would actually submit it. Do you see what I mean?
I feel like that.
I feel like people are more likely to click through that. If it's like a modal, it's modals are just like sort of weird and kind of scammy pop-up sort of stuff. And I think a lot of people just click through like like there's a chat box in one corner and there's like a cookie thing, and a lot of people just click through without even reading any of those at all.
So, but the thing is, if you take out this, yeah, so you've got to put two things. Oh, well,
by
can you
default,
combine the messages of use my reply and do not, no, you don't. Those are two different messages, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to see if I could put it here, the warning, but it's kind of cluttered. And of course, it has the problem with placeholder text that it disappears once you start typing. I think this describe your legal problem is fine as a placeholder because it's repeated here. It is just like, hey, where's the here? That's what the here is for. And once you start typing, you're in the right place. So it's okay. But we need other text, I think, has to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we not think that just having both of that in the checkbox wouldn't work? Like, use my reply to help other people, parentheses, do not include identified information.
Or forget the
Because
parentheses.
they're two different
They're sort of two different
asks, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're two different asks.
And one is,
Well,
one is, yeah.
But just to clarify, I thought we had just said that we are not keeping it for a long time if we aren't like helping, if we aren't like putting it back into the training data.
Yeah, we
I see
aren't.
what you're saying.
Even if we aren't, we don't want them to,
Yeah, so if it's not checked, like the
Oh, so if you're not using
is
it,
really
then it doesn't matter if you put it in. Is that what you're saying?
I think Bryce, that's a good point.
That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
If we don't keep the information, does it matter if they're using personal details?
right.
I still want to train. I want to encourage people not to include personal details, even if we aren't holding on to it for long term.
That's fair. Okay.
We could have some other kind of pop-up here too that says what happens with my information.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Just a second.
Well, there's two things I'm thinking. One is we could put a little bit more information in a help bubble here somewhere. But even if we do that, we probably still need to have the warning not be behind a bubble. Because it's not a very effective warning if people have to click an icon to see it.
Yeah.
Quentin, can you, when we look at these screens, can we look at them in the mobile view?
Sure.
'Cause I think
Yeah, and
that's-
I will say it's not where I've been optimizing it, so it may not look right, but
Yeah.
it's still, we can try it.
We should probably optimize it.
You got it stacking.
Well, yeah, that's kind of built in. I'm just using Bootstrap classes for that.
Yeah, but I thought that was your question, so I don't understand the question.
No, that wasn't.
No, my question is, I don't know if we want to, but see how there's this split here vertically. Well, I say vertically, it's actually horizontal split, where there's a different color on each side. It just
Right.
gives a little visual interest. I'm trying to figure out how to do that here using the right container classes. So it's,
Mhm.
I could just
Yeah,
copy
that's
this, which is hard coded margins and stuff, but I was trying to figure out if there's a better way to do it. This a little bit less markup, but there might not be.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, there probably is.
Yeah. And it might not be the way to add the visual interest. I was thinking like another thought was maybe, let me see, I could probably annotate. Like maybe if we had something like, here's a person on a form, and then there's like a little line that takes them to, I don't know, maybe a printer. And then it's like an envelope that's, I don't know. I was thinking some kind of other illustration maybe
Yeah.
would do the
Okay.
same job.
Yeah, I honestly like that idea, and I sort of like. I honestly like what it looks like now, where they're not separated because
Yeah.
I feel like that helps draw people a bit more towards the describe your legal problem, like
Yeah.
up in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really minor, and I don't know if it actually make a difference. It's probably just a thing that I like, but like essentially, like I don't think you need to split the colors, but I agree with something else helps.
I like this illustration. I think this is great. I think that, and especially the sort
gonna
of
know how to
movement, the
create a
flow of it
screenshot.
is really
Yeah.
nice too.
I did take a screenshot of it just now. Just was like, okay, that's the design I was thinking. I don't know if the printer is the right thing. Maybe it's a different. Hold on. Maybe
But it might be like,
or
it might be a
something.
question mark to a form to.
Yeah. The only thing
Right.
is if you have
Text
something that's
form.
spanning the whole horizontal, you want to consider how that will look when it
happens
shrinks
on
down
the-
to the mobile.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we
Yeah.
would need some shift there.
Mhm.
I mean, it's already using a media query, so I think,
Yeah.
we'll need it to be different, but it's going to be something. How do I draw again? Like, yeah, maybe the search icon, maybe it's repeating these icons here, right?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's a thought. That's
To show the 1, 2, 3. I mean, could be that. Could be a person like,
A thinking face.
exactly, thinking.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, well, I think we're having a lot of fun playing win, lose, or draw here. Pictionary, I guess, is the not. No, that's a brand name too, I guess.
Can I just ask if this is, is this part of the style guide of having, like, how it works is title case and a form about us and the my form.
Oh, great question. Yeah, no, that
I'd my
should
own
probably be
preference
sentence
is
case
to
here, yeah.
minimize, about us, the U would be small. Same thing with family and those things. And I don't know if that's where we settled with the style guide on that.
I don't think I did not make an active choice there, so you're probably right. We should probably just use sentence case
Probably
everywhere.
a holdover
Yeah.
from what we just had,
Okay.
title case.
Well, I retyped a lot of it, so yeah. Anyway, but
You might have retyped the holdover.
I might have typed the holdover, but yeah, it wasn't an
Okay.
intentional choice.
All right. I just wanted to ask about that.
I am curious what people think about the cards.
let's
before we move on.
look at the cards.
Yeah, because this one I know we're gonna have to iterate a little bit to figure everything
Yeah.
on.
The
So
colors seem a bit much.
they're in your face,
but-
right? Like I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out how to.
Well, you
Get this
also,
right.
this is a thing where you have white text on a dark background. Again, it's hard for people to read. If there's a way.
The dark
to do-
text is hard to read too.
Yeah, I think it feels heavy
On a
because of
dark
the dark
background.
colors in the backgrounds, both with the tags and behind the cards.
I mean,
Well,
we
there's a
were
lot of
looking at,
contrast here.
what was the
Yeah.
one
Just
that we
probably
were
more than we
looking
need.
at? Was it Michigan? One
It was
we were
New
looking at the other
Mexico.
day
Let me see.
Where
I
the
can
colors
find
were
it.
lighter.
They had much lighter colors, yeah. So they're oh, here we go. I had it open there.
Yeah, that one, this one, yeah, right.
So I don't want to copy their exact look, but yeah,
Well,
I
could
could go
you-
with,
Well, could you switch it so you're,
I could make this color match and you can see what that looks like.
and then you could have dark on that.
Man, I'm not sure you want dark at the, yeah, the
No,
dark is
I mean,
dark.
the text
Yeah.
would be dark and the background would be lighter, that's all I'm saying.
The other thing was I couldn't figure out how to use this gold. I tried the gold first for the tags and it just looks weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it can't look right.
I think the gold as the icons might be okay.
You mean like the buttons? I think the gold is good in the
Next
icons.
to the
Yeah.
housing, yeah.
Right there. I don't know if we need this super dark.
No,
back.
I don't think we need the super, but that's high. It feels heavy and big contrast jump.
Mhm.
But would can we? I want to see them some more. They're going so by so quick.
Let's try it with the lighter color. Is it?
It should
Okay.
auto
Well,
refresh.
we want to make it dark text then.
Well, that was the, I meant the top of the card is too dark.
Yeah, well, we're
Oh.
doing everything.
No, one thing at a time.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We could change that too. I know it was looking a little like matchy, but then I moved the how it works section to the middle. So first I just tried reversing these colors here so that we had the light blue and then
Here,
the
let's
steel color in the tags and then this dark blue, right? Which something did not save or it's not refreshing. Interesting. Well, I want that text to be
Try
black.
refreshing yourself, but
I was actually gonna suggest just doing like inspect edits in the
Yeah, maybe
browser.
overriding.
It's
instead
pretty
of trying
fast to
to-
refresh, but yeah, but oh, there we go. It just hadn't finished reloading.
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, we could change the weight of that a little bit, but and then if we wanted to change that, I could make it. There is a variation that Suffolk.edu uses. They use two blues. And I actually like that lighter blue they use. Well, actually, it looks like it's a gradient. I didn't notice that before.
Yeah, that part's gradient, but it's not over in the Finder program. Still using three blues there.
Well, they're using a gradient from this color to this.
in find the
middle, the
program.
No,
lighter
I'm looking
color.
at Find the program.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I didn't see what you meant when you said find a program. Yeah. So if we use that,
Still a pretty dark blue.
still really dark, but it's like a, what do you call that? A tint of the main dark. So they're consistent.
Isn't that what you're using for the background here, though?
No, it's a different color. I don't want to have too many colors, obviously,
Yeah,
but that, what just
oh,
happened?
look at that.
I clicked away. Can't tell if that's the lighter. It's a bit, it looks a little bit lighter. It's so hard to do, I have to figure out a good way to do that. This is why it's maybe easier to do it in here.
What would it look like if it were just white and you just had dark text there? Like take that color for your text.
Just white, I could do. I did get rid of the border bottom there. There's by default, there is about, okay, yeah, this is what it looks like. That's the lighter blue.
Well, that's definitely better,
It's
but
better. I'm
I
not
think
sure I
it-
like
I
those
think
three
a
mixed
different-
together.
I think a different also overall background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if the mix is.
When you say a different overall background, you mean just for this section here?
Yeah,
that
not
would
not
be
such a
blue.
dark background. Yeah.
what would it look like if you use the top? So you have the blue at the top, you have the white in the middle. Could you not have, is the blue for the what are you calling the tag? Are you calling those tags? The little.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
calling these
Okay,
tags.
So that background, is that the same color that's at the top of the page?
It is. It matches
So
that.
what would happen if would that look weird if the background for the browse court forms by category? So you'd have that blue background and you'd have these cards. I'm not
having
know-
these be the same. You
Yeah,
mean, with
would
this
would that look
light
bad?
one?
I don't. That's not. I think that might work.
You-
There's enough padding between the tag and like the card it's on, and then the background to make it clear, like it wouldn't be running into the background at all.
So just like the white, how it works, and then
I think I gotta go at one, by the way. I
Okay.
don't have any.
Oh, I've got to go at
particular-
one as well.
So,
So
oh, so okay.
so this is cool. It's a lot of progress. I like the general way that the tags and the categories are in there.
right.
Do we have an example where one overflows, or is that not something that can happen?
What do you mean? Like when there's too
Like-
many tags
yeah.
to one card? I've just been randomizing these. These aren't real.
Mhm.
Obviously, you can see they don't match the categories because we don't have these tags associated with any of our
Yeah.
fields. So
Right, because
I
we're
have
talking about
not
the
designed
plus
that
threes
yet.
and the
Okay.
more and all that stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah, to read more. Yeah.
I was thinking it would just be a little mini tag, just like actually, I think they did a pretty nice job with that on the one in New Mexico, where there's a smaller tag
Yeah.
to show the rest.
Mhm.
I was going to copy that.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it looks really cool.
They have a
Yes.
little line
Yeah,
there.
and also I like when you hover over the ones on New Mexico, the border, it's distinct, the.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hover behavior is
Yeah.
nice.
So they don't, they use a border instead of using a scale. And I think that might be better because the scale here,
Yeah,
it's weird to have two scales. I
I
wasn't
think
sure
it's,
how
yeah.
to do with that yet.
I remember once someone figuring out the speed that if the cards were actually moving at the speed necessary for their sides, like how many hundreds of miles an hour things move at certain.
That's funny. To get this real shadow effect, in other words, you're saying.
Well, like when something like zooms away or something, like what would the actual speed have to be for it to get from this size visually to that size in that amount of time? And like it's like I remember someone making it's like a car driving right up to your face or something.
Nice.
So I could make these icons be like just the blue, only like around there. Like they've gone with white all the way through. And they
Mhm.
have a heavier weight
Yeah.
and size text to make that look good.
I-
But we don't have the multicolored icons. I think that helps.
No, that does help. Although I do like the lack of the border and having it just be a card. Because one of the things I'm
Yeah.
having right now, when I look at those tops are very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing around with this. This is where
Yeah.
I've been trying recently, but
All right.
I agree.
Real quick.
Michelle in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Real quick. Michelle Price.
What Caroline said, a little documentation, blocked mostly by myself, and that I broke my local server. So now I'm trying to fix date stuff for Kiln, and I broke my local server. So hard to develop on dates
Sorry.
on data types, custom data types when you do that. Yep. That's it, I think. I don't know. Continue.
Right. Bryce.
Oh, a whole lot of e-filing stuff. Actually started ECF5 finally. I've been saying to start it forever. And very quickly realized that it's gonna be a bit more like it's just gonna take me a while because I'm realizing that I work slow on the Java stuff because it is not good at tooling. It's hard. And additionally, there is some extra stuff that I'm realizing like will change, and it'll end up having to change on the sort of DocAssembly side too, which is probably a good thing because this is like these are changes that we can make, and then we can be very confident that it would be a lot less work to add new courts and stuff like that. Because a lot of the stuff some of the stuff we added was sort of like in a rush, added to very hard code to what Tyler wanted because we needed to do so much of that stuff for certification. So a lot to say. I am going to do e-filing stuff. I'm explicitly trying to stop myself from getting drawn into Kiln stuff and getting drawn into other assembly line stuff.
Focus.
I'm gonna focus on that stuff because
That's fair.
and I have a list of things to do. I don't quite have them estimated yet in terms of how long it will, like, I think it'll take, because I don't exactly know how long or what all I will need to do yet, but yeah, all that to say, trying to focus really heavily.
Yeah, cool. All right, Quentin, did you have anything else? I'm sorry, we sort of cut off. I just assumed that was the one thing.
No, I mean, I'll keep playing with stuff. I mean, if people want to look at the website as I work on it, I guess I'll try to keep publishing it.
Yeah.
I'll put the link on the assembly line channel somewhere.
Perfect.
I just figured out how to publish it to Netlify. That seems like the best place to do it for development time.